We just broke down the running back video. The running backs with upside, week number 3 moving forward. What players to go trade for, what players to hold on to, what players could go from rags to riches, what big name players to hold on to or trade for. All those different variants of talent and situation, question marks, doubters, players that are just late risers or late bloomers. We did that with the running backs. Go check out the running back video. The graphic, it looks like this, but it was the video right before this one. So go check this video out later, not now. Right now, we got to get into this particular topic, which is wide receivers. This isn't just me ranking wide receivers. I could do that. And I probably will. Tomorrow, I'll do a ranking video. Maybe it's week 3 ranking wide receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. Maybe I do on the year. I don't know which one I'm going to do, but tomorrow will be a ranking video. This video, it's not that. We're not here to discuss all wide receivers. We're not here to discuss the obvious wide receivers. We're here to discuss the players you should go get or hold or believe in or stash that have the value propositions that can win leagues that are worth going and getting or holding or whatever. We're breaking it all down and more. The Fantasy Football Show. The draft show. We draft after this on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Play 5, get 5. Hit this link right now. Sign up so you're not scrambling to get into the drafts later. That link is pinned in the live chat. Code Smitty gets it done if you manually download it. And it says, how'd you hear about us? You put code Smitty in. But the link that I just dropped that I'm pinning right now will insert code Smitty for you. That show, ladies and gentlemen, that show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That was the running back show was 8 p.m. Eastern show. This is the midnight show. We're live pretty much every midnight Eastern as well. We're talking wide receivers. We're talking about 2 of my favorite go-get players. Well, really, all these guys are my favorite go-get players right now. But Mike Evans is a value. I watched him play. My eyeballs tell me going against Stingley, going against just all odds of doing anything. Adams was shut down in week 1 because of the same coverage. We have Mike Evans looking the part still. He very much, I think, will be a bounce-back player, low-end wide receiver 1 at a bare minimum. And even if I'm wrong and he kind of putters out at times, or he's good, he's kind of not as good, but he's efficient, he gets touchdowns, maybe he gets 900 yards. That is a worst case scenario. And I think even that, the cost of entry point right now bakes in that risk of all kinds. So you go get Evans right now for his discounted value. You're not gonna lose unless he was to get hurt, something we can't predict. Evans is a must-have go-get player for anybody that needs a wide receiver 1 that doesn't have one. If you've got this tripod of glory with Lamar or Josh Allen, followed by Bucky and Henry, or Bucky and Bijan, or Bucky and Gibbs, or Gibbs and whatever. You got this tripod of glory and no wide receiver 1. This is your guy. He's cheap. He will get it done. He will trickle in the low-end wide receiver 1 value, probably in a worst-case scenario. Can't guarantee it, but that's what it feels like to me. That's what my eyeballs tell me after a shutdown matchup where he still was dominant in spots. This is a guy that's going to return a lot of your fantasy football lineups to glory in week number 3. Go buy him low. He's Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
The next player that is one of my favorite players to get right now in fantasy football 2025 heading into week 3 is going to be Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, the volume is there. Lamar's playing lights out. Lamar's trying not to even run the ball. And with Henry, I think Henry's going to bounce back. I'm not worried about Henry, but there is a time where this team leans on the pass, and Flowers didn't get a single touchdown of Lamar's 4 tossed touchdown passes in week number 2, which will have his owners wanting more. And they're going to be worried about the spread around effect. I'm telling you right now, there's something different going on this year. This is coming from somebody that year after year tells you Lamar Jackson does not produce top 15 to 20 wide receivers. Zay Flowers will excel. He'll continue to do well. And while we have Isaiah Likely on his path to return, it's going to take him some time to get adjusted. And not only that, there's still a lot of room to go around. There was 4 touchdown throws on Sunday. Lamar's delivering the football. It is a complete a total touchdown yardage fest every single Sunday. It's not Lamar just running the ball anymore. This is a Lamar barely tries to run the ball, and Zay Flowers is going to benefit greatly. Go get Zay. Zay's a fantastic player to roster right now, and if you're getting him and buying him at a territory of, I would say like high-end wide receiver 3, very low-end wide receiver 2 numbers, you're packaging in, baking in any sort of risk if he's inconsistent. You're baking in every bit of risk possible, and this is a Likely and Flowers do not have an effect on each other, says Jack. Jack, I agree. Look, tight ends are compartmentalized. They've got their own little volume pool of targets and touchdowns and opportunities. You're always going to have that available because of the play calls, because of the design runs, because of the checkdowns, because of the safety net mechanism that a tight end is for a quarterback. I'm not worried about Likely at all. I like Likely. Isaiah Likely should be picked up. Isaiah Likely should be rostered, but he doesn't have much of an effect on a player like Zay, who's getting all this work. Not to mention, they're running all kinds of different formations they don't usually run. So Zay's being put in different spots than he normally is put in. So he's all over the field, knifing across the middle of the field, getting all these excellent targets and volume. It just looks different. It's a different Baltimore Ravens setup this year from a passing perspective. And Zay's a marvel. Zay is one of the original Moon Men. And the reason we haven't loved him over the last couple of years, and we've been spot on the usage, is because Lamar doesn't produce top 20 wide receivers. He just doesn't. Zay, I believe, was 21 or 20 last year, so he barely cracked it, and and that's the new threshold. But this is somebody, in my opinion, that you're packaging in all the risks to the point where if I'm wrong and he's inconsistent, which he could be, you're getting the kid at the fair market value that you're losing nothing at the end of the day. If you throw Zay into some sort of 2-for-1 where you get 2 players for your 1, he's a fantastic additive. If you can couple, let's say you've got Judkins and you need a wide receiver, you trade Judkins for Zay Flowers, it's a fantastic trade. You trade Judkins for BTJ, it's also fantastic. You trade Judkins for Rice. This isn't, one player has to go with one in terms of the 1-for-1. But this is a fantastic cross-position trade for anybody that needs a wide receiver that's struggling, that has a surplus of RB, and you can make this JCM for Flowers trade, this Judkins for Flowers trade, straight across. Love it. Do it live. Zay Flowers, top 15 wide receiver season inbound. Lamar's finally going to do it. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Next up would be probably BTJ. Let's get this out of the way. A lot of BTJ doubters out there, and I understand, but guess what? You need to stop talking about BTJ pre-draft. Just stop. You're wasting your breath. No one's listening to you. Smitty, BTJ, who cares where you drafted him at? I'm not even worried about those people right now. You own BTJ, you hold him. I'm talking to the people that don't own BTJ, so put your earmuffs on for a minute. These people that took BTJ, and I'm one of them, I've got a lot of shares of BTJ. They're panicking. I'm not panicking, but I'm one of the people that drafted him. They're panicking to the moon on this. They absolutely don't know what to do. They need to make moves. If they're 0-2 or 1-1, they're freaking out like crazy. Go get this man at the newfound value that bakes in every bit of risk we're talking about. If he's inconsistent all year or produces low-end wide receiver 2 numbers, which it's impossible for him not to rebound to at least a high-end wide receiver 2 unless he gets injured. I just can't see it. There's no way. So you go get this kid and you do it now and you do it live. You can get him in such a comfortable wide receiver 2 cost of entry point. There's no risk unless he gets injured. Now he's got a wrist injury supposedly, but this is being talked about as more of a excuse as far as why he played the way he played, and not a cause of why he played the way he played. And it's certainly not being talked up, and this could change, being talked up as if this is getting worse and they're worried about him. He's not questionable. He could pop up as questionable in the coming days. Who the hell knows? But right now, the way I'm feeling this and taking in the information and the way I'm reading it and assessing it and what my eyeballs and my gut instinct tell me is that this is an excuse type of environment right now. This is Liam Cohen not necessarily being very good at taking accountability in some ways, but I do believe in his offense. ETN, the rushing attack is firing on all cylinders. They're going to continue to lean on that, and they're going to create short routes and design plays for both Travis Hunter and BTJ to take out some of the deficiencies and gaps in the process that T-Law and these receivers are not connecting on. Also, T-Law threw a lot of balls to BTJ that he dropped. Again, the wrist is being blamed on that. Maybe there's some truth to that. I'm not saying it's an all fabricated thing. But if you go back and watch all the T-Law to BTJ plays, they're not really on T-Law. And because we've seen this guy be number 4 in the National Football League for wide receiver scoring and production, and being literally not just fantasy football number 4, he deserved to be called the number 4, number 5 playing wide receiver, NFL wide receiver last year. He was that good. You're going to write off that resume. You're going to write off that history that he brought to the table, your eyeball test. He was the guy last year. I have no doubt he can return to form. For whatever reason, he had a bad day. It's not the end of the world. And if everybody's freaking out to the point where I'm trading Judkins to get him, I'm trading JCM to get him, I'm trading AJB, who I want nothing to do with, on AJB alone, and all the things and risks that he brings to the table, mixed with this quarterback who threw for barely 100 yards. And the only reason he had even close to 100 yards is on this deep throw where Devontae Smith did all the work. Other than that, you'd have Jalen Hurts with such a sub 100-yard passing game. He can't throw the ball. He can only run the tush push. That's all he's good for right now. Jalen Hurts has been struggling for over a year now throwing the football. And I want nothing to do with that, mixed with A.J. Brown's knees, mixed with A.J. Brown's soft tissue and hamstring concerns, mixed with A.J. Brown's head case mentality and diva mentality, with the way that this team throws the ball. So give me BTJ all day long. This could be a league winner. And if I'm wrong, and the people with the earmuffs on right now that drafted BTJ, I'll address it in a second. Keep those earmuffs on. Keep the earmuffs on. Don't take them off yet. We're stealing him away from the current BTJ owner. We're stealing him away. This almost cannot not work out. This is a league-winning move. Understand what I'm saying. And if I'm wrong, I'm not even wrong, because he's going to earn you unless he gets injured in some freak injury, which everyone's capable of getting injured in that. He doesn't hold an extra additive, you should have known he was going to get hurt type of injury history. There's nothing here. Unless he gets injured, there's almost no way he can't earn you back. Just like Zay Flowers, just like Mike Evans, the value you're investing to get him right now. You're not wrong. You can't lose this one. This is like buying a $500,000 house for $200,000 right now, right here, right now in an auction. That's what we're talking about. Go get BTJ. He will bounce back, ladies and gentlemen. Trust the process. Trust the player. Trust the guy that delivered and gave you glory all season long last year. The guy that your eyeballs tell you is a monster. Go get BTJ. Do it live. Do it well. Go do it in every league you can, and make sure you don't miss out on this one-time opportunity, because it's not going to last.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name.
BTJ, go do it live, do it well, do it fast, do it everywhere. All right, so we got Evans out of the way, BTJ, Flowers. Let's go to his counterpart, Travis Hunter, real quickly while we're on the topic, just because I think everyone's wondering right now, well, what's this mean for Travis? This is still a player I firmly believe in. Now, are we expecting him to do what we want him to do, what we need him to do, especially if we drafted him? Oh, and real quickly, before we get to Travis Hunter, for those of you, take off the earmuffs, For those of you that own BTJ, hold him. Would I trade him in some complex deal where you can confuse somebody and give BTJ and a Judkins to go get a safer player than BTJ? Sure. Do I need a running back, and can I trade BTJ across position, throw in a Judkins, throw in a JCM to go get a Chase Brown? Doubt it? Sure. Those are all avenues I would explore, even with a player I don't want you to trade, but that's confusing matters. That's using psychology and fantasy football trading. That's tricking somebody into an amazing deal. And so I'm okay going and getting a Chase Brown, going and getting a Genty straight up for BTJ. Those moves I'm fine with if you're trying to maneuver out of BTJ. Past that, if you have them, hold them. You already made the investment. Don't worry or fret about that. Just understand that you trade them now. It's like changing lanes on the freeway. The lane that you're in, you're sitting there, it's slow. The two lanes next to you are zipping by, and you're like, well, I'm getting out of this lane. You change over to the next lane. It comes to a halt, and the car that you were behind and the car behind you, they zoom past you. And you're like, why did I change lanes? Let me get back in. You get back in that lane. These lanes go zooming by. Before you know it, you're so far downstream. Don't change lanes with BTJ. He's going to speed up, and you're going to be sorry that you did. On over to Travis Hunter. This is maybe a player you're waiting on. This is maybe a player you're putting on the bench for now. Depends on what you got. You got Keenan Allen, throw him in. You got a guy like JCM, you got to contemplate this. I think BTJ and JCM are still close because we have not yet seen the commitment level from Washington to JCM. We've only seen a depth chart. And we got screwed in week 2 expecting JCM to get more work. He didn't. Could it happen again? It sure could. Could Judkins against the Green Bay Packers get shut down completely, and no one even wants Judkins anymore? And that's why Judkins is a good sell high, even though he's also a good acquisition. And if he's on waivers tonight and you don't get Judkins, you're whiffing big time because the trade value proposition here is enormous. Tootin, the second best player. If Bill's gone, of course. Judkins, Bill Judkins, you could waiver on that. Tootin's maybe less of a for sure thing because he's a bigger degree of separation from the lineup than Bill or Judkins are, because Bill and Judkins are starting. And Scat might even be closer to the lineup because he might even start this week over Tootin. But Tootin might have the most capability of being a top 8 running back on this entire board. So make sure you are not sleeping on the waiver wire tonight as waivers process. But Hunter's somebody that I truly believe will get into the mix in a way that everybody regrets not buying him at the seller dweller price tag. If you own him only in some creative psychological warfare type of trade, like I just described with Travis Hunter going to get BTJ, going and getting Genty, BTJ, and Judkins or JCM to go get Chase Brown or to go get a wide receiver like JJ or something crazy. You got Kraft, and you can use Kraft and BTJ to go get JJ, like something like that. We're talking about fantasy football warfare, just trickery, some sorcery, wizardry. Like if you're doing something like that with Hunter, I Smitty approve trading anybody in that context. But in general, you're just gonna have to hold him because the value proposition far outweighs the benefit of trying to get something small or trying to cut him or something ridiculous like that. Don't cut him. He's still a gem. He's still a potential sleeping giant. And they're going to figure out ways to use him. And if you keep in mind, in week 1, he had 6 receptions. You know, he still didn't do awful in week number 2. It was not great, but it's not like he was not targeted. It's not like he's still getting targets. He's still up there in terms of, targets per route run. He's still up there in a respectable category of player. It's just a matter of conversion. It's just a matter of are the right plays being dialed up. And Liam Cohen has proven, even through a struggle bus year right now, that he can dial up the right running plays. We know he can dial up the right passing production as well. So we just need to be patient as he gets to know his own offense with his new tools and new toys and new weapons, and trust that the process will even out a little bit more than it has. Do I wish they'd go get a Shador in a trade or go get a Willis or go get somebody? Yes, I do. But am I concerned enough right now to say T-Law can't get this done? He does look bad at times. But again, you rewatch some of the footage, a lot of this was not on T-Law. T-Law had a lot of drop footballs that were not his fault. So I say we give this a chance, one more try, 2 more tries, 3 more tries. Doesn't really matter. You own Hunter. You're just waiting for it. It could be week 7. It could be week 4. But if it does click, he's a league winner at his go-get cellar dweller pricing, where some people are even contemplating cutting him. Go get him.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, so Pickens, I love going and getting Pickens right now. He looks phenomenal. He was so amped up. And the part that I love most about Pickens right now is mentally. This is probably his biggest hurdle. He can get in his own head. He can get trapped in there, and he can tear himself into pieces, and he can detour and tear down his momentum and just have a horrible season. This team was so excited about last week and talking about Pickens in the locker room, his coach hyping him up. The whole team was just rallying around him, and they were doing it for everybody. Everybody that scored, everybody had big plays. The coach was talking up, every single player, calling him out off of his little note card. Couldn't remember it all. He had to write it down. He's like, and Showman scored. Who was it? But they were all celebrating, and Pickens was eating it up. Pickens was in love with this situation. Pickens is playing for money. Let me repeat that. Pickens is playing for money. And he's going to go out and put on a show. And I truly believe this week 3 on is going to look even better than it's looked so far. It's been spotty, but it's looked solid. But Pickens is going to step it up big time. And the safety mechanism here is Joe Milton. If anything happened to Dak, this is protected. And the Dallas Cowboy defense is very bad, which is the Bengal formula for pass. CeeDee Lamb to the moon, Dak to the moon. If you need a quarterback trade, Joe Burrow went down. Go see if the Dak Prescott owner has 2 quarterbacks and he's wavering anyway. Go get Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is the number 1 go-get quarterback for me if you need to make a trade because you lost Joe Burrow. You're struggling at QB. This is the player to go get in a very minor trade. Some very small adjustment. You don't need JCM. You do it. You don't need Judkins. You do it. This is the quarterback to go get that will give you top 6-7 potential fantasy football quarterback scoring. This defense is going to put this offense in a position where they're throwing. Buy Pickens now. You will regret not having George Pickens on at least a handful of your teams at the new cost of entry, which is doubted Donnie value. Get Pickens, and do it live.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Brian Fields. Brian, I think you're lost. I don't know. Howard London and Mike Evans available. Who said they're available? Does this say waiver wire show, Brian? I don't know what. You're in the wrong room, Brian. You're in the wrong room. I don't think you know where you are right now. Rewind the show. Start from the beginning, Brian. Okay. Lab McConkey. This is probably the riskiest player here at all. This is somebody that we're probably needing to potentially tread lightly on, but see if he's free. See if he could be thrown into a deal. See if you could get a waiver wire player that you just pick up. Maybe you got Fannin and Kraft, and you got Pitts or whatever. You got the availability to pick up Pitts, and you have Fannin and Kraft. Like, this is how you go get Ladd. I'm not saying trade Kraft for him. I'm saying you have a surplus of a position. You've got maybe a Benson, and you're not really wanting to wait that long on Benson. You try and figure out a way to get Ladd. Ladd is so cheap right now. You can't lose on this proposition. You just can't. And even if there's some risk involved, I see Jack in the chat saying, Keenan Allen. Yeah, all of that stuff is why he's where he's at, bro. But now we're trading for him at a newfound, you got to understand the newfound value concept here. These guys all have newfound value. If you think back to pre-week 1 value, you're not thinking about this from the right angle. This is a free Ladd McConkey now. The upside's tremendous. Keenan Allen's older. He could even get injured. But even if he doesn't, Ladd McConkey will probably have better days. This is one of the cheapest wide receiver 3s you could go get. I would stick Ladd McConkey in my wide receiver 3 spot all day long without a hesitation. I would cement it in right now for the rest of the season minus the bye week, even if I had to commit to it right now. But I could make the gamble instead of doing this juggling act in my wide receiver 3. This is the cheapest wide receiver 3 in fantasy. That's how much he costs, and he has what was low-end wide receiver 1 appeal. Now, no one's saying that, again, you could throw the Keenan Allen example in here. Maybe Ladd McConkey can't reach low-end wide receiver 1 value. Maybe he can. Maybe he can't. but he's certainly capable of high-end wide receiver 2 value, and you're putting him in your flex position. This is a zero-risk proposition. Do it live and do it now.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Now, as for these last two, these are two of my favorite right now players to go get in a trade. Rice is now 2 weeks of his 6-game suspension is over. That means that you have 4 games left that you're waiting on him. And so he's more attractive to you than he was 2 weeks ago, right? Now, the natural thinking, the psychological beings that we are, we sit here and we go, and this is why your boy got a psych degree, is as human beings, as people of questioning ourselves and overthinking in this game we call fantasy football, we believe that other people are thinking things the way we are. We believe that everybody's smart. We believe that everybody has their head on straight. We believe that Bill walking into the elevator with his stack of TPS reports didn't spill them all over the elevator and screw his whole morning up. And then the first thing he does is pull up his app and he sees Rashee Rice sitting there and looking at him, and he's like, "You're worthless for 4 more weeks and I'm 0-2. I blame you, Rice." He's scraping up all of his TPS reports. He gets back into the elevator, and sure enough, you send the right message at the right time. It says, "I'll take your Rashee Rice. I'll give you Quinshon Judkins. He has running back problems." He says, "I'm going to smash that button and smash it now." And he makes, in the heat of a moment, decision that alters his fantasy football season for the rest of the year. There are ways to go get Rice in ways that you don't understand because you're thinking about it from a different perspective. Scott says Smitty needs sleep. Hey, Scott, you need a timeout. How's that, Scott? Because I'm out here working my butt off, and here you are making comments about what? I need sleep. Do I look like I need sleep? Am I not performing to your expectations? Do I not look on my A game? 10-minute timeout for you for making the snippy comment about somebody out here doing work, cranking out the content, no stutters or hesitations or equivocations in my voice. I'm delivering. You're not receiving. So you sit in timeout, Scott. There you go. Scott, see you in 10. This is right now one of the best go-get players in fantasy, period. Because when he comes back, Patrick Mahomes, who's been putting the team on his back, carrying them game in and game out. Patrick Mahomes said, I don't run. I don't run during the season. You know why? Because I save it for the postseason when the magic needs to happen. But he's been running like crazy because he has no weapons. What do you think the first thing he's going to do once Rice comes back? In his mind, he's taking an on-field vacation. He's kicking his feet up at the office, putting his hands behind his head, and he's going to relax while he just dishes it to Rashee Rice, and he lets Rashee Rice now become his run game. Without a run game, what does this team look like they're going to do? They're not running the ball. They got no wide receivers, and they're still not running the ball. If we ever thought that Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to have his top 5 QB season, it's not this year. I'll tell you that, because this year he's balling out without any wide receivers. The moment Rashee Rice is back, he jumps into a very volatile top 5 wide receiver category, and he's going to win leagues for people. You only have 4 games left waiting on him. If you're 2-0 or 1-1, you figure out a way to go get this character because he's going to absolutely explode. This is going to be the most sought-after player at the wide receiver position in a couple weeks when people start going, hey, I've got a crafty idea. I'm going to start making content on this. Nobody else is talking about it. Go get Rashee Rice. Bet you didn't know he was coming back from a suspension. Breaking news. According to reports, Rashee Rice is actually coming back from a suspension in 1 week. I got a bright idea. Go trade for him. Not on my watch because we're already acquiring him, and we're doing it preemptive style. People that have an 0-2 record thought they were crafty. I'm going to wait on Rashee Rice, and I'm going to show my league. Well, guess what? Like Mike Tyson says, you have a plan. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And Mike Tyson's right. People that had a plan with Rashee Rice and they're 0-2, boom. Time to look at different plans. I'm 0-2. Can't wait on him anymore. Guarantee you that majority of everybody that has Rashee Rice is either 0-2 and most likely 0-2, or they're at least 1-1 and still in panic mode. This is the best acquisition at such a low cost of entry, lower than he was before. He's 2 games closer to coming back, and yet he's cheaper because his owners are panicked. But because of the psychological beings that we are, we think because we think that other people are thinking that. No, they're literally don't even know they're susceptible to trading him. They're sitting there looking at their roster. They want to get rid of him. You're there for the taking.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Now, the final player, and then we go to the super chats and then potentially the phone lines. Drake motherfreaking London, who, if you look at last year and you account for the fact that in his 3 played games with Penix Jr. was on pace for 125 receptions, 221 targets, which is crazy. 221 divided by 17. I know it's a small sample, but that's 13 targets a game. And what did he do in week 1? Got massive target share. Week 2, he dealt with a shoulder injury. It was a tough defense. It was a tough draw. Drake London is still a top 5 to 7 wide receiver potential. And I know that we don't want to necessarily value him there. And we're not, because we're not drafting right now. We're trading for him. And right now you can trade for him as a wide receiver 1 that people are questioning might not be a wide receiver 1 anymore. Maybe not this year. Maybe I'm worried about his injury, etc., etc. There are people that are teeter-tottering on wide receiver 1-2 value, and that's where you win a league. No one is asking for you to buy Drake London at his pre-draft top 9 to 12 overall value. If you go trade for him right now and say, Smitty, I did it, then you didn't listen. You don't understand not only the assignment, but understand the concept of any of this. Because London can be had at easily late second round, and in some cases, scared Scotties might go even later than that. 3.1 equivalent trade value if you're to try and mock up the top 25 overall players. You might see him going for 25, 26 overall value equivalent in a trade. This is still a top 10 overall player. The volume, the target share through 2 weeks does still suggest that he's a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Plain and simple. Is the injury a concern? Yes and no. I mean, he's 1 week more recovered, so I'm not really that worried about it this week. But are we concerned about the shoulder a little bit? Enough to say, hey, I wouldn't draft him 9 overall if starting over today. But at the newfound value of all of these guys, but with Drake London specifically right now, this is a league-winning move. Do it live, do it well. Go get the man and try and win a league through Drake London.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, so we're through all the upside wide receivers right now. Again, it doesn't end here. There's still other players that we like a lot. I would say if I was going to throw another player onto this screen, I'd say this is somebody to go get in a potential waiver wire acquisition tonight is Ao Manor. Now, I didn't want to say his name necessarily yet because he's available in so many leagues. This is a waiver wire situation, but I just want to put it out there that, you know, you can still be a part of this conversation even as a waiver wire guy. Ao Manor is probably my number 1 or number 2 top wide receiver to grab. He could potentially be a super high-end wide receiver 3 going forward. He's the number 1 option in a Cam Ward offense that's going to be playing from behind and throwing the ball as his quarterback gets better and more versed in the NFL. And there were some good things and good takeaways from Cam Ward's game in week number 2, and touchdown being one of them to Ao Manor. This is a guy that might arguably be like what we're feeling about Adunze right now. We start feeling about him at some point. And Adunze is going to be a little up and down. He's not going to be a guaranteed 2-touchdown guy every week. He will be somebody that off of one bad game, you're not writing off, but you're like, okay. Think about Fannin in week 1. Fannin was everybody's favorite tight end, and people are giving up on him, and it's shameful because Fannin still played well in week 2, and I still love Fannin. But look at how everybody thought Fannin was number 3, number 2 overall. The best tight end in the world. Goes out, has a really decent week 2, but it wasn't a touchdown and 100 yards, so everybody's acting like Fannin hit rock bottom. So if Adunze and I'm not saying sell Adunze or anything. I'm just saying that Adunze seems like he's the favorite, potential riser up into the elite top 12 or 15 right now. Just understand that this kid is the number one wide receiver for his team. He's going to be force-fed the ball. He's a supreme talent, and Cam Ward will get better every step of the way. This is somebody you need to grab immediately off waivers and belongs in the wide receiver upside video, even if it's not a trade. Or if someone does own him and you're doing a trade with him anyway, just look at the roster. Maybe ironically, you're like, Smitty, I'm doing a trade right now, and I'm looking at it. He's on this guy's roster. What do you know? Throw him in, because this could be a wide receiver 3 gold mine all year. It could be a gold mine all year long. Smitty approved, Dan Menor.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Love this kid. Love him. All right, let's hit these super chats and smash them on the screen here. Let's see if we got any $20 haulers that need immediate attention. Let me just comb through these real quickly. I have to lower my blue light blocking glasses to differentiate the colors here. Let me put this one up here first and tackle this. I know BTJ is on here, but should I trade him for Rome Odunze and JCM? I don't mind that trade if you believe in Rome. This is not a bad trade. It's preference. And Rome could vanish a little bit or continue to excel. And I think if I had to guess, I would say Rome's in such a good situation, even though it's bad, because they're going to be throwing from behind. Rome's always going to be a guy that could have 40 yards, 30 yards all game long. And then all of a sudden he scores a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And you're like, oh, there it is. Like, Rome is the guy that lives in that environment. You know, when you watch football and there's always that guy. Doesn't matter how the game's going. End of the game, he's going to get his touchdown because they're throwing from behind. That's going to be Rome. So I don't mind that trade. It's 50-50. A Dynasty, Adunze, Neighbors for BTJ, Chase Brown, and Waddle. I would rather have Neighbors and Adunze, but I would then try and somehow get Adunze flipped into BTJ. You know, like maybe, I don't know if you can leave those out or figure out another trade. Like some people trade back. Try and figure out how to hold that out of the trade. Can you throw in something else? I honestly don't want to trade BTJ, but I do love Rome Odunze. And if that's the difference maker for him to do this trade, I just wonder if he likes Rome more. But yeah, I don't mind that Neighbors side. That's a lot of value. Neighbors is maybe the number one overall dynasty wide receiver in fantasy football. He's a supernova for a reason. And there's a reason why he's up on this board. I got to fix this real quickly. Let me see here. I got to fix this because I keep pressing this button, and this went to the Scott Hansen interview, and I've never switched this button back. And so let me see if I can get this to the point where it's, let me see, where is it at? There it is. Okay, so I think if I hit this, let me go back here. I think we should be able to fix it. There we go. Neighbors, been on there since January. Number one wide receiver, Dynasty. I really think he's that guy. And so in Dynasty, I'm all about getting Malik Neighbors. So give me Malik Neighbors all day long. Would you trade either Hunter or JMO for Evans? I would trade Hunter for sure for Evans, and I'd probably trade JMO for him as well, yes. I think Evans is that kind of guy this year. Walker for Hendy. You have Sharps. I'd rather have Hendy long-term, but Walker is going to help you better now. So you gotta answer the question for yourself. Can you weather through maybe waiting on Hendy till week 5? Because it could be week 5 or 6. We don't know. Could be next week, but could be some time. You could stack up L's and then you wish you didn't do the trade. But it's kind of on you whether you think your team can survive if he was to take another week or two. 700 of you in here from YouTube. Please hit that thumb up button and subscribe if you're new. We're here at midnight Eastern almost every single night. We're here at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday. And I'm also additionally live whenever big news breaks. And we're going to be drafting on Underdog here in a minute. Here's the link one more time. If anybody wants to jump into an Underdog draft tonight, promo code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat as well. So hit that, do it live. Gaming says Dynasty trade Chase Brown or Hendy Devontae Smith for BTJ. Chase Brown or Hendy. You got to stop with this slashes and everything. Everybody uses them differently. I have no idea what you're really saying because everyone does it differently. The slashes and an or, this and that. I have no idea. You got to just spell it out. You got to spell out the trade. Chase Brown or Hendy. I'd rather keep Chase Brown and Devontae Smith. I assume that's with this, but I don't know. for BTJ. I'd rather have Chase Brown overall over BTJ, so I'm not doing any sort of swap here. Hendy and Devontae Smith for BTJ. I'd say that's closer, but I don't think I would necessarily do that in Dynasty. I love Hendy in Dynasty, so I'm gonna say no on that one, but it's still close. I like BTJ a lot, but Hendy I'm not giving up on. Please don't use slashes, just spell it out, because honestly everyone uses them differently, so I'm not gonna know what you really mean, and you're gonna waste your question. So please ignore the slash. Kirk a free agent for me, where would I rank him on your board? I don't know. Somewhere in that Higgins, Mooney, Horton area. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not picking up Kirk. Kirk can kick rocks. He's okay. I could live to regret that next week. But Marion Hampton plus Mooney for Chase Brown. I'd take Chase Brown and run. I don't think you're going to get that. If you get that, let me know. Start 2, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Hill, A.O. Manor, or Tesla. You're going Garrett Wilson and probably A.O. Manor for safety and Hunter for high risk, high reward. Pick your poison based on what you need for your specific week. Traded BTJ and K9 for JJ, and my whole league trying to veto. That's crazy because you can argue both sides. If you ask me whether you should do that, I would sit there and go, I mean, honestly, BTJ and K9's pretty good. And JJ lost his quarterback, and I don't see how you could veto that trade. That's ridiculous. I would almost not want to play in a league like that. That's ridiculous. You can't, as a grown person, decide you want to have JJ or if you want to have BTJ and K9. I don't even know what side they're vetoing. I assume they're vetoing the JJ side, but I don't even know. That's how close this trade is. I'd probably rather have JJ, but everyone should be entitled to that opinion. Worked out a trade, My Hampton and Buka for Chase Brown and Waddle. Look, I'd rather have Chase Brown and Waddle by a hair right now, but if Hampton gets the job eventually back, or let's just say Harbaugh says something tomorrow, I mean, Buka is right there, but Chase Brown, if I could flip Waddle, I'd feel much better about this trade overall, after it's done. Like flip Waddle for a BTJ and so you got to throw in something, but or get Harvey or something like that. Trade Chase Brown for Rashee Rice and Ken Walker. I probably would take Rashee Rice and Ken Walker. Without Charbonnet, it's risky. I'd make sure I try and go get Charbonnet, but that's if you don't think you can weather through it, though, don't do it. Like, you need to be able to be 3-3. If you can't be, then don't do it. 0-2, Ben offered Etienne and Pickens for Rice. You got to take Etienne and Pickens. That's a home run. Like, you got to understand the values. Simi Valley, trade my Higgins and for Rice. I'd rather have Rice if you can weather through it, and you can, because you're 2-0. That's how you win leagues, bro. These are chess moves you're making right now. You're 3 moves ahead of everybody with this trade. 0-2, 12-team, 0.5, help. JD5, Chase Brown, James Conner, Lamb, BTJ. Bad tight end and Rice owner won't trade. I think you're waiting on some of that bench talent to do something. Chase Brown, Conner. Yeah, I mean, you got the Arizona backfield, so you're safe right now. But, I think I'm just waiting on that. If you can't get like Genty using the Arizona backfield with maybe Pearsall or Hunter or Sutton, I'd try Sutton in the Arizona backfield for one running back and just kind of go down the gauntlet of options. Dak, Bijan, Brown, London, Adams, MHJ, Fannin, 0-2, Rice. See, every Rice owner is 0-2 right now because they didn't build properly around it, unfortunately, Richard. But you got awesome talent on the team. If you just move Rice right now for BTJ or for Breece Hall, give up something small, maybe the person needs a tight end, this is going to fix your team. You need to make a move now. You are unfortunately somebody that's got to trade Rice, but you have to. Ayuk, upside, not really. Get him for free right now. I understand why, because he played like trash when he played last time, and he's coming back from a major injury. He probably won't be healthy at all until next year, so I wouldn't even pick him up. I just joined. What did I miss? You're going to have to rewind, bro. I can't. You missed a whole array of wide receiver values you got to rewatch. Should I trade? Thank you for the super chat. Should I trade Ladd for Evans? Absolutely. And they're both on this board, but I'm definitely taking Evans. Evans is potentially a league winner. Jetta Swift, ETN for London, Bucky, and Travis Hunter. I would take, man, that's a close one. I'd probably take the London, Travis Hunter, Bucky side, but very arguable. I just think ETN, especially if you don't have Tootin on that side, if you did it, make it more secure. But I'm going to go ahead and say I'd panic about what happens if ETN loses ground. Someone offered me Pickens for Tyreek. I'd rather have Pickens. Very much so. Thank you for the super chat. This one here, trade Debo and Hampton for BTJ and Hendy. I would take BTJ and Hendy pretty easily. Not everybody would. $20 hauler from Joey. Joey, appreciate you dropping the 20 watt on screen.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Joey, my man. Hey, Smitty, I traded Hampton, Swift, and Pitts for Bucky and Tootin. Thoughts on that? I don't like that at all, bro. I love that trade.
You've just been...
Bro's out there playing 3D chess with his league mates. Wow. Don't be surprised if the veto police come and knocking. Even if you don't have vetoes in your league, they might establish a veto court and council for that trade right there. I got offered Love, Hendy, Kincaid for my Bowers, and Joe Mixon. Burrow is on... Got offered Love and Hendy and Kincaid for Bowers. Don't trade Bowers that cheap. You know, I know you need a QB, but you're making a reckless move there. Going offer Genty for London and BTJ. I'd take a London and BTJ and I'd run. Just absolutely run. Trade ideas for Genty. No, that's it. Unless you're just cooking that up, you're not going to get that. You might have to throw something in. But Genty's not getting you London, let alone London and BTJ. But let's say he wouldn't do that. What else does he have with BTJ? I'm still interested in that deal. Really need receivers. So that's the move to make. Evans and something. Go to the Chase Brown owner. Go to the HN owner. Go to the Breece Hall owner. See what wide receiver could be included in that trade. But the problem is you're trying to ask somebody to buy Genty on the pre-draft value with that trade. Trade help redraft 12-man. Should I trade ETN for Rashee Rice? You didn't tell me your record, I don't think. So if you're 2-0, I'd consider it. But Penix, let's look. Bucky, Mason, Harvey. You're kind of in a bind, though, if you get rid of ETN right now. And I like your receivers anyway with CD, London, and Buka. You don't really need it. I would say you're not a candidate for this. But if I could trade, let's say, a Mason right now for Rice, I would do that. Mason and potentially A.O. Manor after another week of producing, then you're a candidate to maybe go do that. But that's you're not making a smart move, I think, with that one unless you, that's tough, bro. And then this one here, it looked very similar. I almost skipped it because it looked similar. Trade Rice, okay, for Mason. I would rather have Rice. You're 0-2. I understand this, but Jaylen Warren and Mason, you're talking about splitting hairs to a degree. I'm keeping Rice in that scenario. Would I do it for BTJ? Would I do it for Breece Hall? Yes, I would do it for those kinds of values. But other than that, you're kind of potentially risking losing some value. Any trades 2 QB, Mahomes, Dak, love that. Herbert, you could send one of those QBs packing though, honestly, or hold them until later until people keep getting struck with injuries. But Bucky, Neighbors, JSN, Garrett Wilson, excellent team. But yeah, you could use a Breece Hall on the cheap, a Chuba Hubbard on the cheap, a Chase Brown on the cheap using one of those quarterbacks. Try and keep Mahomes though, but you should easily be able to move something. Keep Tillman or pick up Wan'Dale Robinson. I'd probably say Wan'Dale's safer, but Tillman is just as good. They're pretty damn close, bro. Trade Chase Brown Worthy for Rice and BTJ. I would rather have Chase Brown and Worthy for Rice and BTJ. I'd rather have Rice and BTJ over just Chase Brown and man. If you're 0-2, no, you got to keep Chase Brown. Let's go Chase Brown unless you're 2-0 and you want to take this gamble and you have the depth to do it. But eventually the right side will be worth more, but right now it's not, and wins might matter. Likely on waivers, claim for Fannin or Njoku. Don't drop bro. Fannin, what did Fannin do to you? Fannin's like the most sought after player. Goes 1 week and still has a decent game, and now we're dropping him. Njoku, go get Likely for sure. For Njoku, Likely is a very, very solid ad this week. Very, very solid ad. And he should actually be moved up. We'll probably move him up right here. This is about where Likely should go. He still needs some time, but He's definitely a good candidate to pick up and stash. It's just a matter of, can you hold him right now, or is it too much of a waiting game for you? Have one open bench spot, grabbing Woody plus Corum, but I need to drop one of Brashard Smith, Sampson, Thornton, or Booty. You're probably going to drop right now Thornton. He's just not going to get the volume or consistency, so that's an easy drop in my mind. Give Jamar Chase and get Lamb 2-0. I'd rather have Lamb right now, easily, unfortunately and easily. My MHJ for Mason, Bill, or Debo for Walker, Bill. I'd probably take MHJ for Mason, Bill. I don't know if I'm trading MHJ for that. I don't mind it. And then Debo for Walker, Bill. I don't mind Walker and Bill. That's not the end of the world. I don't mind that trade. Give Genty and Bowers for Chase Brown and Zay Flowers. I'd rather have Genty and Bowers. You're giving up way too much, my boy. You shouldn't be doing 2-for-2s in that. Otherwise, it might be closer. We good for week 3. Records 1-1. JD5, Gibbs, Achan, Adams. Yes, you're good. DJ Moore. Okay, solid team. I think you're good. I don't know that I'm moving anything. I'm not trading the 2 running backs. You got no real. You gotta wait on some of this. I'm fine. Adams look phenomenal. Would I consider Adams for like a BTJ and a Harvey or something? You know, if Adams could get you into something like that, I guess I would explore it. But Adams is a baller and a fantastic play this week. But very, very, very solid team. Give Chase and get Lamb. Yes, again, like I said, $10. What can I do with this team? You have AJB for BTJ, AJB for Mike Evans, AJB for Hendy. I don't know if you have any of those players. If so, just disregard the players you might have. I'm trying to read through this as fast as I can. Devontae Smith, Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze is a good player to potentially trade away if you need a running back. But you're 2-0. You're doing the right thing. Just use AJB to get BTJ right now, or to get Hendy. Those are really, really easy things to do, I think, for the most part. Appreciate you very much. Boogie, appreciate your super chat here. 0-2. 2 trades I'm thinking of are my BTJ and either JCM or Hall for JJ and trade 2. You guys, the way you write this stuff is just so confusing to speed through. 2 trades I'm thinking of making. Trade my BTJ and either JCM or Hall. I'm trading. Hall and JCM are like a $20 bill and a $5 bill. No offense to Bill, no pun intended, but he's a $5 bill compared to Hall. So let's say BTJ and JCM for JJ. Smash. Do I do Hall and BTJ? Maybe not. Trade 2 Adams. Trade 2 is, okay, there's no punctuation. Trade 2 is Adams for Evans. No. Adams is fantastic right now. You should be able to get Evans and Harvey, Evans and Hendy, Evans and something if you're making that trade. Thank you, Boogie. I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm just trying to work through some of these questions. And I guess my responses, my bedside manner sometimes needs some work. 0-2, Hertz, London, BTJ. Look at the squad. Nice job, Buka. Like the team. Any suggestions? I don't know. I'd probably say, why are we doing the hyphens through everything, too? It's so hard to read. Hertz, London, BTJ, Tet, MC. Who the hell's MC? Tet McMillan? Is that one person? Tet McMillan is what you're trying to say. What are we doing? What's Tet MC? How does that help me? It's only confusing me. London, BTJ, Tet McMillan, Walker. I'm trying to trade Tet and Walker for one player. Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Bucky. Do it live. Throw in some bench fodder, and I think it works out. Team right here from ID says Dak, Saquon, Bucky, Buko, Garrett Wilson, Bowers. Phenomenal team. Travis Hunter, benches Benson. I'm sitting on the squad. Nothing to do unless I'm moving Waddle or Worthy to upgrade Garrett Wilson into London or into potentially that slight move up, or Travis Hunter into Evans or into BTJ. Like that would be pretty good. Zach Charbonnet or Ollie Gordon. Zach Charbonnet for me right now. 14-team league right here. Starters are Mahomes, Genty, Devontae Adams, Diggs, Ingram, Brown, bench, Penix Jr. 0-2. What to do? I don't know. It's not like there's a ton on the squad. No offense. I mean, you got to get rid of you got to get rid of Jaden Higgins. You got to get rid of Worthy and something. Worthy and I mean, there's nothing here. Is that Chase Brown? Okay, thank God. Chase Brown in the flex. I didn't see that. That's solid, but like he's not can't really sell him high right now. I'd say Adams for BTJ and Hendy. Adams for BTJ and Harvey. I wonder if even you could trade Adams for... You got to get something that can help you now, though, if possible. So you're probably looking at like Adams for... Jeez, man. Maybe not BTJ, I do like it if you're getting something significant with it. So maybe it's... I wonder if you could get Chase Brown into like running back upgrade slightly. Henry. Maybe someone's doubting Henry right now. Take a stab. Chase Brown and Adams for Henry and BTJ or something like that. Just see if you can do it. But if not, I'm going Adams for BTJ and a player. Adams for Evans and a player. I think that could be pretty good. Thank you for the super chat. This one here from Juan. Love your show. The show loves you back. I got Allen, Bijan, Henry, Sutton, Ladd. Mason. Bench is not good, and he moves 2-0. Well, you're 2-0 for a reason. You got Henry. He says Henny, but I think it's Henry. I don't think it's Hendy. I think it's Henry because you're 2-0. And Bijan and Hendy and Ladd. Look, I mean, I think you just thank your lucky prayers you got Odunze stepping up right now. And you just kind of start Ladd and Odunze and Sutton. If I could trade Mason and Sutton for BTJ, or Mason alone for BTJ, or Sutton alone for BTJ, or Mike Evans, bro, you got yourself a wide receiver 1 all of a sudden. That's how you're smashing. Rockout says, play the Bill song. I don't know if I have the Bill song. Where is the Bill song even? I'm kind of forgetting where I have that. Did I have that? Where did I have that? You trading Dobbins for Buka? Yes. Come on, Brian. My only running backs are Bucky, Kyron. Am I trading Dobbins? Bro, don't trade Dobbins for Emeka Buka. Don't do it. Ibuka's only on pace for 25 touchdowns. Don't do it. Wide receivers are not great. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're... I don't care if you don't have a single running back left. You're still doing that trade. Then you can maneuver something else. But yeah, you go do it and you do it live. And you go get Hendy for DJ Moore. Or go get Hampton for DJ Moore and just pray to the fantasy gods that it works out. But you got to... Come on, man. Trade Sharps for Devontae Smith. I'd rather have Sharps. Running backs, it doesn't matter. Devontae Smith's not going to be consistent in that situation. Rock out 2-0 and got Rice. Nice job, Rock out, doing it live. It's hard to do, but Rock out's doing it. Very, like the 5%ers, we'll call them, that are 2-0 with Rushy Rice. You got to build around it perfectly. PPR, drop Ollie Gordon or Braylon Allen for Judkins, of course. And you're probably going to drop either one. Doesn't matter. Drop and pick up Tootin as well. Judkins, Tootin, how's the running back talent? Don't worry about Wandell. I have Achane and Brees also rostering. Wandell's good, but you're talking about league-winning running backs. There's a big difference. Wandell is going to be a very good wide receiver 3 that can help you a ton, but those are league-winning running backs. I have Hurts, Saquon, Chuba, Tyreek Hill. Get rid of Tyreek Hill. Get rid of Tyreek Hill. And should you trade Chuba and Igbuka for Malik Neighbors? Yeah, but try and get something else. But yes, I'd do that. And I'm still trying to get rid of Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, BTJ, even if I'm giving up a little something in order for that to go down. Appreciate all those super chats. We crank through them very speedy like. And now we're going to, let me hit that underdog thing. Promo code Smitty. Play $5, get $5. Do it live. I would love for you all to jump into a draft with me. I'm gonna sign in here on Underdog and get all set up. But play $5, get $5. That's how it rolls here on Underdog. The link is in the description. The link is in the live chat pinned. And let me sign in here. And we'll get into a draft here. So click that link right now. It's going to take a minute or two for you to sign up. So we'll wait a minute. But go ahead and smash that link. And we'll draft here shortly. But I'd rather have Chase Brown or JCM. And Chase Brown and JCM are just Bucky. Probably just Bucky, Brian. Probably just Bucky, my boy. And this one here from Sam. $20 hauler from Sam. Doing it live. Sam, appreciate you, my boy. Sam to the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Sam to the mother freaking moon. This one from Michael. I'll put that over on the screen there. Appreciate both you guys. Hey, Smitty, 10-man league, 0-2. Lineup is Debo, Buka, Fannin. Bench is Hampton, Hall. I mean, look, Mason. I want Hall in there over Mason. But I'm using Mason to my advantage to either you hold him, it's good, but you could also trade him. Mason, and maybe somebody takes a gamble on AJB and Mason for BTJ. AJB for BTJ, AJB for Evans, AJB and Mason for Chase Brown type value. Easy peasy, bro. Get Hall in your lineup, or even a London, because you might not necessarily need that running back. Or that, yeah, because you've got Hall. So I'm fine with making that move. And over here we have 5 running back limit: Jacobs, Kyron, Javonte, Harvey, Sharbs, and I have the number 1 claim for Judkins. Should I drop Sharbs for him? Yeah, because you can then trade him and then pick him back up. You know what I'm saying? Or make a trade beforehand, with Sharbs to the Walker owner. But I think you just pick him back up. I got offered Jordan Mason, DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Hunter for Jamar Chase and R.J. Harvey. I bet you did. Michael. No, Michael. No, you're keeping Jamar Chase, my boy. Tyler, currently 0-2, 12-0.5. QB, JD5 and May. Wide receivers are Terry, Marv, Pickens, Worthy. What trade should you look to make? Got offered JSN for ETN and Pickens. I'd get a little something back if you can, but I don't mind that JSN side. And I'm trading Worthy or Waddle with potentially... if you don't pull it off, one of them with ETN to get a higher running back, like the Bucky sort, or, potentially trading Waddle or Worthy with Brees to get a Bucky, or, I mean, you can't get Gibbs, but you can try. Boy can dream. Maybe Genty and one of those wide receivers could get that, but I'd say Bucky's one of my top go-get players. Scary Terry and Worthy, or Scary Terry and Waddle, Scary Terry and Marv for one, London or something like that. And I definitely love BTJ and Evans, again, in all kinds of moves regarding those bench players and combos. Garrett Wilson and James Conner for Lamb. Definitely get Lamb. That's an easy one, probably one of the easier ones we've been answering all night, to be honest. This one from Big Homie. Big Homie, appreciate you. This one from Jared, dropping this $20 holler. Jared, I appreciate you. You get immediate attention, young man. And I think this one here puts us caught up to all the super chats being on screen here. Traded Achane plus Tyreek for Jettas. Did I win? Achane and Tyreek. I'd rather have, I don't know. Like, Jettas and Achane are tied right now. So, like, Tyreek's nothing to me. But he's got trade value. So, like, in a way, I almost, like, wish you'd got, like, BTJ or Evans or Hendy or something, or Harvey instead of that. Drop Shards for Scatterboo. I'd probably say for right now, it seems like it could be smart. Young, but we don't know. But I would say Achane and Tyreek. I mean, Jettas, I don't know that Jettas has the same value. Him and Achane are probably tied. It doesn't have the same value he did. So I'd say it could be even. 10-man league, 0.5, Daniel Jones or May off waivers. I think Daniel Jones is the hot hand, and I can understand why we go with him. But I do think May on the season will be better. But I think for right now, Jones probably is better. But I think on the season, May will get better. Running back 1, Swift. So you probably grab both of them. Running back Swift. Running back 2, JCM. Wide receiver is, I think that's A.O. Manor. And wide receiver Lamb, tight end McBride, flex, T-Mac, bench, Hampton, Harvey, Rice, Tootin, 0-2. Okay. Big Homie, I definitely think I'd grab both of them if possible. Gabe, 2-0, QB Hurts, Pacheco, Trevion Henderson, Harvey, Chubb. Wow, you're 2-0 with that running back stable, huh? Nico, London, Olave, Kittle, Fannin, Burrow. Burrow owner offered Mason and Rice for Hurts. I'd probably say take it, bro. I like Rice is going to help you tremendously, and it probably helps you maneuver into a running back. But running back's really your problem, and Mason helps solve that right now. I don't know. Chat, what do you think on this one? I mean, it depends on who your quarterback's going to be. But I personally like Rice and Mason for Hurts. I'm not a believer in Hurts right now. Traded Bijan for JSN and Chase Brown. That's not bad, but it's hard to trade Bijan. But it's not bad. That's like a pretty decent haul. But I don't know. It depends on what your team looked like. You got JSN and Brown. You had London. You had Buka. You had a Monra. I don't know, man. JSN, Chase Brown. I'd almost say with Kyron and Bijan, I probably wouldn't have done this trade. Superflex redraft. Did I cook or am I cooked? I don't think it was a bad trade. I think it's good trade value for value. But for your team, given that you had all that talent, I don't know that it was necessarily a move that you needed to for sure make. But I don't think you got cooked in the trade value for value. London and Ibuka for Lamb. I'd rather have London and Ibuka. That's a lot of talent, my boy. 0 and 2, trade my London and Hendy for Evans and Bucky. I would take Evans and Bucky. That's just a safer move, personally. 2 and 0, $9 hauler. Appreciate you. With the Rice looking to sell high on Debo, who should I target? Debo for Chase Brown, Debo for Breece Hall, Debo for Chuba Hubbard, at the very least. Debo for BTJ and a Harvey, like et cetera, et cetera. I think, Spencer, those would be moves that you could crush your league mates with. Hendy, especially. I mean, that kind of thing. All right, guys, jump into the Underdog draft in 10 seconds. We're going to click on Underdog. The link is in the live chat. Play $5, get 50. I'll drop the link one more time fresh in the live chat. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I would open the phone lines, but I don't want to do that and then get caught up behind here and drafting at the same time. So just give me a minute to see if we can even open the phone lines in a little bit. Go into the originals tab. You're going to go to the Battle Royale Week 3, which should be the first option right there. It's $7 entry. We're clicking on in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Get in 4 more to start. These are Battle Royale drafts. That means that they're 4-week number. They're the morning and afternoon slate of games only. Danny Dimes a bust. Ha 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 ha, says keeping it real. I don't know what side you're even. If you're laughing because you think he's a bust or you don't think he's a bust, or I don't know what your angle is on that one. I mean, honestly, no one's wrong for doubting him. No one's wrong for believing in him. I mean, Danny Dimes has upside, but he also has the ability to fall off like Sam Darnold did last year, at some point. There's no guarantee of either. We've seen this, play out differently before. We've seen Baker revive and stay revived. We've seen Darnold get revived and not stay revived. So it is what it is. We just got to play it out. 10-team, 2 flex, PPR, MPJ, Michael Penix Jr., Genty, Hall, London, MHJ, Ingram, Buka, Hunter, RJ, Rice. Okay. Do I trade Rice for Ladd and Judkins? I think that's not bad. That's not bad. I honestly, I want to keep Rice, but that's not bad. Judkins could be a nice little trade piece for you as well. If you wanted to try and flip it. So that's not bad. Trade Swift and McLaurin. Chat, can we vote on that? Rice or Judkins and Ladd? Trade Swift, was that the trade? Ladd, yeah, Ladd. So Ladd and Judkins or Rice, vote in the chat. Trade Swift and McLaurin for Neighbors and Chubb. Come on, man. Of course, Neighbors. You're not getting that. Got Flowers, AJB, running backs. You get that trade, we quit our jobs and we come work for you, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Is that some bright idea you had right now? 2-0. I hope you get it, though. Tell us if you do. I'd be very proud of you. T-Law, Stroud, running backs, ETN, Hendy, Tootin, Puka, Marv, JSN, Adunze, Tet, Rice. Got a lot of wide receivers to maybe trade. Kraft, you could trade as well. Got offered Kyron and Judy for Marv and ETN. Kyron and Judy for Marv and ETN. I'd rather have Marv and ETN, I think, barely. But I'm still trying to maneuver some of those wide receivers to get into Chase Brown. Like maybe Tet and Marv, or Dunze and Tet, or maybe it's ETN and Tet, or ETN and Kraft to try and get into that top running back. Let's go with CD Lamb this week. I think Lamb Chops eats a lot. 0-2, Genty and Keon to get Chase Brown and Rice. I like Chase Brown and Rice because I think Chase Brown and Genty is going to be an even wash for you to some degree. And it could go either way. And you're getting that future value of Rice, which you don't have to pay for now. It's just free and now waiting on your roster. That's how you play 3D chess, my boy. That is how you play 3D mother freaking chess. CD Lamb. Let's go a little JT here. A guy that I definitely was not as high on as I should have been this year. We'll see if he stays healthy, because that's the biggest concern for him, and then that would make me go, this is why I didn't want to. But right now, JT's balling out, and a lot of it has to do with how Danny Dimes is functioning in this offense, so that has to continue as well. But right now, JT's balling. So JT from a mother freaking, from a now perspective is baller. He's a baller. So do it live. So Lamb and JT, pretty good little situation I got going on here for my first two picks. Dunze, keep a Dunze in the deal. I don't know. Dunze and Devont for London. I definitely take London. Franklin, not sure. Is not a sure thing. I agree. Travis, if you want to call in, and I might take I might take 2 phone calls. If you guys call in, as soon as I got 2 callers online, I'm going to announce that the phone lines are closed. So please don't continue to call, or I'll block your number. So just listen to when I say stop. Because some of you will just be relentless and you'll try and call in and I end up blocking you. So if you're wondering why you can't get in anymore, it's because you kept dialing in like a maniac. 1-1, 12-team PPR. QBs are Kyler, Jettas, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Olave, Chase Brown, Achane, Breece Hall, Ollie Gordon, Jawan Johnson, Andrews. Moves you can make. I guess you can't trade Garrett Wilson low after that week. You can't trade Rice. No one's paying for him. Chase Brown, Achane you could sell maybe high, but I don't want to. Breece. I think I'm keeping this team, bro. Team's really, really good. You're 1-1. You should be 2-0. The only thing I'd maybe look to do is, I mean, if you can upgrade Kyler somehow, you try it. But, I mean, what are you going to do? You could trade Rice right now because you got Jettas and Garrett Wilson and I don't like Olave, but maybe you could pick up someone off waivers. I don't know if A.O. Menor's out there. But if you could trade Rice and Kyler to get like a Mahomes right now, sure. If not, I'm standing down with that team. And the only person you could trade high would be Achane anyway. So you're in a stand down mode.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Travis, you're live. What can I do for you?
So with the Chargers, how do you feel about Najee right now? Is he like a deep bench stash, or do you think they are giving him more carries? Or? It's such a tough thing to evaluate. I'll be honest with you.
My heart wants to say this is stupid. Why would they do? But he just earned a lot of respect from his coaches for his experience. And unfortunately, that's going to play into the next handful of weeks. Now, do I think that he could go out and lose the job? Could Hampton come in and just look better? And then all of a sudden you see, let's see who's got quarterbacks. I'm going to take Dak here because I don't want to lose the Dak CD Lamb connection here. But could I see it changing at some point because the draft capital is there for Hampton? Like, you can't just give up on a rookie you spent, high draft cap. We're talking extremely high draft capital. The last time we saw a running back draft capital like this get wasted was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And we're just not going to see it very often ever in the NFL. So they're going to give Hampton a chance. He's one of those great go get for cheap and just throw him on your bench and don't even look at him until you wake up one day and it says Hampton's the best ever in the news. And you're like, okay, well, let's bring him up. Past that, you're not touching him. He goes to your bench, he sits there, and that's it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that Najee though. I don't think Najee's gonna.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't think Najee's gonna ball out. I think that they're very stagnant. The whole offense looks very stagnant especially running the ball.
Yeah, it's tough. And if you're a Kyron owner, you got to grab Corum if you can, right, for now?
Yeah, you got to grab Corum. Hunter hasn't taken his job yet, and right now, Corum, just the reality of the situation, it is what it is. You adjust and adapt. He is currently, and we thought this would be the case early on. Corum will be the cuff. Right. Later on, Hunter could be the cuff, but maybe that's not the case. The way that Corum was talked about by his head coach coming out of this last game wasn't so much that it concerns me about Kyron, but it solidifies he's the backup. But he did come out and say it's going to be a 65 if he can. Doesn't mean he's going to be able to do it, but it's going to be a 65 split. So Kyron's still getting 65% of the work, which is more than enough. And honestly, at some point, something's got to give with Kyron's 90% usage or he's going to get injured. And he could just be more efficient. Like, give him some time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's, 400 carries, that's still like 250, 260 carries. So
yeah.
Still plenty of work for Kyron.
Yeah, why'd this guy have to take Pickens, man? That's not cool. I'll go with.
So would you just? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that the guy's grabbing Pickens and okay. BTJ, do it live. Sorry, go ahead, Travis.
No, just on the quorum thing. So, if all you can drop is Hunter, you got to just drop Hunter for quorum now, right?
I don't know if I go that far. I'm not
okay.
Travis Hunter. Sorry.
Trying to decide.
Nope.
I love Hunter. Like I think
not.
Hunter can take it.
I would.
If God forbid Kyron went down,
I
think Hunter could take it from quorum.
I wish Hunter got dropped in a league that I'm in. That'd be amazing. Let me answer these two super chats real quick. $5 hauler from Spencer. 1-1 12 team. QB Kyler, Jets, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Olave, Chase Brown, Achan, Brees, Ollie, Juwan, Andrews. Any moves to make? I think I already answered this one, right? Chase Brown. No, I didn't. This is similar, I think. No, maybe it was. Jettis. I think this is the question I already answered. You're holding this team. Yeah, this is the one you hold. Thank you. Appreciate your super chat. This one here from Bill and then over to Stoke. Appreciate you. Bill says, keep Dak and Purdy or drop one for Goff. You got to drop Purdy for Goff. But Purdy's injured right now, bro. And he's not even like a lock to be like consistent on any level. Pick up Jones, Penix, or Stafford. Keep Andrews and Ferguson. Drop one. I don't, bro, you're asking me like 7,000 questions in here that go in like 100 different directions. So I'm not even sure what you're wanting me to say. Pick up Jones. You just asked me to keep Dak or Purdy and drop for Goff. So Goff, and then I'd say Jones, and then I'd say pick Penix, or Penix Jones is pretty even. And then keep Andrews and Ferguson, or drop one for Ertz. I would probably say I'm dropping Andrews for Ertz, but I don't necessarily need two tight ends if it's plentiful. You could grab a second quarterback just to make sure you have it covered, or make sure Tootin, like if you're picking up Ertz over like one of these running backs that I continue to say, make sure you're not leaving Tootin or Scat or Ao Manor out there. Ao Manor, say his name two different ways, but Ao Manor, if he's out there and you're picking up Ertz when you back up tight end when they're plentiful and on waivers, like you're really potentially missing an opportunity, Bill. So make sure you're not leaving those guys out there. And then this one here, QB JD5 and Knicks running back Jacobs, Hendy, Mason, St. Brown, Evans, Ridley, Warren. Thinking about Hendy and Keenan Allen for Bucky? Well, of course you are. But I mean, I want a tail, but I can't have one. I want to fly. I can't fly. But we all want things. We can always strive for them. But probably not getting Bucky. Hendy and Keenan Allen. I would probably say you're holding Hendy. I would try and trade Mason and Keenan Allen for BTJ or Evans or something like that. But, I mean, certainly try for Bucky, but you're going to have to give up Jacobs and Keenan Allen to even you probably get shut down on that one too, but boy can try, but you're certainly not getting try to do it though. I mean, I'm seeing people do weird things, so I'm not saying don't try, but would it be crazy to try and waiver Trey Benson or Titans rookie wide receiver for Sampson? Would it be crazy to try and waiver Trey Benson or Titans rookie wide receiver for Sampson? So you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to ask me. I don't know what language this is. If you're trying to, yeah, I think he's trying to say cut Sampson for. I would say give me Benson for the running back upside, but I would definitely take Benson over Sampson right now. Because Benson can win a league once he's in there, whereas Sampson's losing ground. It's not fair, but he is losing ground. And Ao Manor, I like him if you need a wide receiver, but I certainly wouldn't pass up on a win a league running back personally. Rockout says check DM. Okay, Rockout, I'll do my best to swing back over there in a second. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. There might be one other. Bill, thank you for your super chat, Bill. And here's the last one to get caught up is 0-2, $10 hauler. Appreciate you. Burrow, Achan, CMC, Dobbins, Harvey. You're waiting on Harvey. Judkins could be traded. AJB for Evans, AJB for BTJ. I throw in Judkins and maybe get something else to do that. Judkins and Tet for either one of those wide receivers. Keep JSN. Quentin Johnson, if I got to throw him in, keep Rice securely fastened in his trade tables up and just await instructions for Rice. Let Rice marinate on the bench. All right, let me see if I can swing over to Rockout's message real quickly. Rockout, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to do this quickly.
Now got a dollar bill job. We been scoring mad L touchdown. See the beast on the east side. He be killing it, feeling like I'm feeling that. They be taking over like you never seen before. Go get your little bill, little bill.
I don't know if that was choppy or anything. Let me play it in one-time speed.
Throwing out got a dollar bill job.
Is that clear?
Great mad L touchdown. He see the beast from the east side. He be killing it, feeling like I'm feeling that. He be taking over like you never seen before. Go get your little bill, little bill.
Thank you, Rockout. Man, Rockout. I wonder if Rockout wakes his house up doing this stuff in the middle of the night. I don't know. Thank you, Rockout, for the wonderful rendition. 0.5 PPR drop Tesla and Ollie for Franklin and Woody Marks. I don't know. It's sure. It's pretty even stuff, to be honest with you. Pretty even, Steven. I don't know. Nothing. I'd rather have I think Franklin and Woody Marks, I suppose. But I do really like Tesla still. You could almost say, yeah, Franklin and Tesla are very, very, very close. I think Franklin has a better chance of maybe getting more volume. He's got his rapport with his college quarterback and Bo Nix, and there's a lot to like there. 12-team PPR, trade AJB and Bill for Ladd and Booty. No, I think AJB and Bill should get you Evans or BTJ. I don't think we're going Ladd, and I like Booty, but I don't know that don't need the Booty right now, pal. All right, Travis, what else you got? And let's jump into one more, guys. One more, please. Jump in. Underdog, promo code Smitty. Back up. Underdog, match your first deposit. 50%. I'm sorry. It's $5. Play $5, get 50. And jump in and do it live right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click on the Week 3 Battle Royale. Do it live. Travis, what else you got?
Just a couple quick ones. Would you rather have Najee or Corum? I have Hunter retired right now.
Najee or Corum, you have Hunter.
Yeah. I have Kyron as well, so I could either huff the whole backfield, or I could bet on Najee getting.
I guess I'd drop Hunter. I'd drop Hunter, pick up Najee.
I have Najee already, so it's
okay. So
I have Najee and Corum. I mean Najee and Hunter. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'd rather have Corum than Hunter, and then I keep Najee.
Oh, you would rather have Corum than Hunter?
Well, right now, I mean, you got if we're worried about what happens right now, we're worried about what happens right now. Do I think Hunter eventually could supplant him? Sure, but okay. I don't think anybody's racing to get the third running back. So I think you got time.
Right, okay. And what about Jarquez Hunter or Brashard Smith?
I guess I would keep Jarquez Hunter and Corum together versus that. I like Brashard, but why didn't we see anything the last 2 weeks if he gets just ridiculous?
Yeah. What if they're both just a stand on another team, standalone bench staff?
Probably rather have.
Dice.
No, probably not. Not right now. Not with 2 weeks and no usage. I just don't understand what's going on. I mean, they love Brashard Smith, and all of a sudden they're not.
The last one I had was I got Ingram on the team. Would you drop him for Jay Ferguson for the Cowboys?
Drop Ingram for Ferguson. I suppose right now I would. Sack of the South. I guess I didn't finish the super chat. Third in the waivers, looking at Caleb and Daniel Jones, looking to dump AJB and Rice. Looking to dump AJB and Rice for waivers? You better not be. I hope you're trying to say something different. I hope if you're looking to trade them, you mean. Because you're saying in the middle of the waiver question. So if you're looking to trade Rice and AJB, I assume you're just trying to trade them. But if you're trying to do that, I suppose I would probably say to you, AJB and Rice, I don't know if anybody's in the business of two players, but I would say, I don't know. I'm in the business of keeping Rice. I'm in the business of trading AJB, that's for sure. So I would trade AJB for, like I've said all night long, Evans, BTJ specifically, then Evans, AJB for even Judkins and something might work. AJB for Ladd and Harvey or something like that, just giving you ideas. AJB and Tet over Rice. I'd trade AJB and Tet because you got JSN. I'd trade AJB and Tet for like London or higher. I'd trade maybe, and you already got Harvey. I get that. Or I see you got Harvey and Judkins, but you get what I'm saying in terms of the player. So Judkins and AJB for Chase Brown, AJB for Hendy, AJB for BTJ and Evans are my favorite players to recommend for you. So thank you very much. And as far as that other part of that question was the waivers. It was looking at Caleb and Daniel Jones. Probably Daniel Jones, but I don't know, man. I don't want Caleb or Daniel Jones starting for me in a 1 QB anyway. But I know if you got hit by Burrow and Fields and you're like in panic, I'd rather have Penix Jr. on the year. I'd rather have Drake May on the year. But Daniel Dimes is okay right now. I just think people are getting a little carried away with this Danny Dimes thing. I'm not saying it can't. I mean, what do you think on Daniel Jones, Travis?
I think he's still got to prove it, but I mean, if I have room, I'll stash him, in the right context, because 2 straight weeks of putting up points, and we've seen on the Giants he had little blips where he would, because he can run a little, and he would put together these 20-point games. So I mean, there's a chance it stays. I'm still not a believer, but I'm also not going to say that it can't keep up. I mean, we look at his schedule.
I would have went Ibuka here, but since he went Ibuka, that's good because then it gives me the stack that I've been trying to get. But so I got Pickens, Lamb, and Dak this week, which I think will be pretty good.
Daniel Jones, Tennessee this week, and then the Rams. The Rams are a tough match.
Danny Dimes still has to prove it? Question mark. Yeah, we're 2 weeks in. He's proven it. MVP season.
Got to be a Colts fan or something.
I don't know, man. He doesn't know what No offense, bro, but come on. You're talking out of your fandom. How many fab on Daniel Jones? I don't know, bro. You got to look at your history, E111. There's no way to know how much fab to drop. Only you know that.
Yeah.
I can tell you 20%, and just throwing a number at you like so many other shows do. You got to tell me, give me an example of what quarterbacks have been going for. That's the only way I could give you any good advice on that. Richard says...
he's trying to block his opponent too, so be careful how much you spend trying to block.
I don't play for other teams. That's how you lose. Yeah. Play for yourself. Play for your team, what your team needs. Rice for Genty or Hall. I'd probably say either if you're in need of a running back. Yeah, I think I'd probably say Genty then Hall in that order. But Chase Brown, I'll go. Man, Chase Brown, Minnesota is tough, but you can run on them. Chase Brown or Genty this week, or do I go Javonte and just stack it? Oh man,
Javonte's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chase Brown.
Chicago's been giving up a lot of.
No, I wanted to do it, but I don't. I want to bet on the passing attack, I guess specifically here. So we'll go Chase Brown there. It was. I thought about Javonte, but I love Chase Brown's value. Juwan Johnson's good matchup against Seattle. I think they're the worst in the league against tight ends. Juwan Johnson's a great play this week. Richard, what did I say on here? Oh, yeah. In that order. Genty. I can't believe Genty, the way Genty feels right now. I know it's going to change, but it's crazy. It's crazy that they haven't used him. I mean, there's certain plays Genty makes that you're like, wow, he is very special. and then it's like they don't feed him. You got to feed. Genty's not the kind of guy that you can do what he's supposed to do on 9 carries, 11 carries, 7 carries, 8 carries. He needs 20 carries, 18 carries minimum to get him to pop off that massive monster run.
He just missed one last night, though. It was just, I don't know, second or third carry. The guy just got him by the ankle. If he didn't, he was gone. But
anybody thinks
right,
that
those guys have to just get their momentum, and then they just fly.
One more, guys, on this underdog promo code Smitty, play 5, get 5. Play 5, get 50. Click that green button in 5, 4. The link is in the live chat pinned. It's in the description of the video. If you miss out, just sign up now anyway so that you're ready to go next time. Click the green button, do it live, and we'll jump straight into one more draft. People think Danny Dimes is, like, I understand if you want to say, I really think the resurgence is real and he's going to be pretty good, Smitty. Like, I get that, but people acting like he's going to have an MVP season, get out of here. He's not going to be an NFL MVP, bro. He's not. There's no chance. And if he's good, he'll be good. He'll be Sam Darnold. Okay, this is pretty good. He's definitely revitalized. But you think Danny Dimes is going to become some, like, we missed out on, we missed this. We didn't see a top 5 quarterback hiding in here. Get out of here. He's not a top 5 quarterback. He's not even close. Now, is he playing really good? Yes. But you're speaking like a casual if you're saying Danny Dimes is top 5 quarterback. So please stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Your mom's embarrassed of you. Your mom's taking away all your meatloaf privileges for the month. You're going to get no meatloaf whatsoever if you keep talking like that. Yeah, Juwan's a great play. If somebody needs a tight end play this week, Juwan Johnson, do it live. I'm not talking about you, Josh. I'm talking about the other comments that I've seen that are like, Danny Dimes, MVPs, top 5. God. You know how hard it is to be a top 5 quarterback? Without any wide receivers? Come on. Get real. Better start Danny Dimes or Goff right now. Is Sutton worth keeping? Yes. Why would you cut Sutton? Travis Hunter or Juwan Jennings? Come on. I mean anything can happen this week, but you're going to really like cut or make a decision. You can't. All right, let's go lamb chops here. I mean, the amount of people giving up on Travis Hunter, and no offense, Travis, because you did say, would you cut Travis Hunter? But it's like, and I don't mean this like in a disparaging way either. It's just like the amount of people giving up on him. I understand why people feel that quickly to jump off because it's looked bleak. But it's, man, I just can't. I mean, we're 2 weeks.
I was talking about Travis.
Thank God, Travis. Thank God.
That's why I was confused.
That's why I was confused because you said Hunter.
Yeah.
And
I know. I should have specified. I said Corum with Hunter, so I
thank God.
Just assumed.
Thank God. All right, I got to get a hold of James Devlin because I just told James Devlin let me replay the video that was just playing. Hey James, Travis just said he wanted to cut Travis Hunter. I need you to step up as head mod. James Devlin, are you ready for the call? I need to call that off. James, I'm mistaken, Travis.
I resign.
Thank God. Because I was trying to like step around that as lightly as I could because I'm like, you just said you cut Travis Hunter. But thank God that was not what you meant. But the fact that people are, yeah, I mean, come on, guys, what are we doing? Running from that situation after 2 weeks. What are we doing back there?
It's funny though because there are probably people out there who would drop Travis Hunter for Corum right now.
Yeah, there are. There are people that think.
Okay, so I guess
top 5 QB.
After you make this pick, I'll re-ask the question. So I can be sure.
Wait, what?
I guess I'll re-ask the question then, Corum or Jarquez Hunter.
Well, Corum. I'm still Corum for the year, for the now, for everything because he's in the position. It is what it is. I can't roster both of them unless I'm getting rid of Brashard Smith, which I would to roster both of them. So Brashard Smith, bye-bye. Carry both of them. If I can't carry both of them, it's Corum only.
And not Corum over Najee.
Corum, it's Corum over all of them. So it would be Najee over Jarquez Hunter, but it would be Corum over Najee if you could only have one. So no matter what, Corum's over all of them because you have Kyren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's debatable. But I don't know. It's a tough one. Now, I want to go Genty so badly here on this next pick. I think he's going to rebound like a maniac. But I also don't want to miss out on, let's see here, who's got running backs? I think technically I might get away with, you get 2 RBs there. I don't know if Dak is going to make it back to me. That's all right. I'd rather have Genty, I think. Let's hope Dak makes it back to me. I don't think he will. But if he doesn't, then I'll be fine with Geno Smith. Just kidding.
He's so frustrating. I forgot how frustrating he is to watch.
I forgot how frustrating it is to own 2 Raiders, and I'm looking at my team right now, and I have 2 Raiders on it. What am I doing? I don't know.
Get Jacoby Myers, too.
I don't know. But I like the values of Bowers and Genty here, but good Lord, man. We're 2 weeks in. Even Geno can, I'm not saying Geno is a world star, but even Geno can get better enough that Bowers and Genty are eating full course meals. That's the only thing is that I'm thinking. You know, I'm not thinking Geno bounces back to an elite player of any kind on any level whatsoever at all. At all. Now, if these are both quarterbacks, like, I don't want to say I'm screwed. Well, I got Baker. Baker's still there. Okay, so I either have JD5 or Dak. So Dak, why would you take Dak? You got nothing. You got nothing. I'm gonna act like Ron Navy right now. You got nothing, Dallas. What are you doing, bro? JD5. Was there any update on him at all anywhere? He's day to day still. I think I'm just gonna take a gamble here. This is good value, so we'll go JD5. But damn, man, I don't think there's a single update on him today that's of substance at all. Just regurgitated from yesterday. Need a running back 0-2. Trade Neighbors for Kyren and Ladd. No, thank you. You can get the world for Neighbors right now. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Hey, buddy. What you doing there? 2-0. Lamar, Chase, Igbuka, Hampton, Warren. Just traded Warren for Hendy. Amazing. Amazing job. I would go, let's go Igbuka here. So I got Lamb, Igbuka, got JD5, Genty, Bowers, Irving. I mean, it's a fantastic looking lineup. It's just a matter of the Raiders guys. This team right here, so great trade on that. Chase, Igbuka, Lamar, Hampton. So maybe a running back situation, maybe you're trying to get, you got Hendy, which is nice. I like that. Could Warren outscore him in week 3? Sure. But we're thinking long-term here. But Bill, I'm only trading Bill if I'm getting a running back. No, I don't know what you could even. This is a hard team to move. Chase, Igbuka, Hampton. Maybe you're moving Jamar Chase for. I mean, you're just trying. I'm trying to go Lamb, trying to go JJ, trying to go Puka, trying to go St. Brown. Because, I mean, Chase is those guys now anyway. Without Burrow, he's those guys. So you're trying to see if somebody still plays the old Jamar Chase value. He's still a good player, but you're lowering him down to that tier. And so maybe you turn Chase and Bill into, I mean, you're trying to get Bucky or higher or Achan. I think that's the only real move to focus on with that team. And then Flowers or Mike Evans and Benson. Which side is better? Probably Mike Evans and Benson. Because I like Mike Evans a little more than Flowers, but I love both of them. And Benson is an additive there. So, all right. Travis, I'm probably going to jump here. You have anything, final thoughts or anything?
What are your thoughts on Romeo Dubs? Like getting more targets.
Solid.
What?
Solid wide receiver 4 that you're using in spot duty right now.
Okay. And so obviously you'd rather pick up like Frank, something like that. I don't know.
Dobbs versus what?
Franklin. You'd want Franklin.
I want A.O. Manor. But if not available, then I'd say probably Franklin over Dobbs because of just a little bit more upside. Well, we've seen this Dobbs thing for a while, right? So it's not like we're getting something consistent. But I think with Franklin, we might not, but we might. I'll go Franklin.
Yeah, he's gotten more than 7 or 8 targets both games, so
yeah,
I know something's still there, but it'll be interesting. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
All right, Travis. Thanks for all.
So Vinny in the chat, he was asking what tight ends, Ingram or Jonnu. Are you just rolling with Ingram and see what happens? Or?
Yeah, over Jonnu. Yeah, Fannin over both of them. Pitts over both of them.
Yeah, the only other guys were like Schultz, Otten, Hughes. Likely, I told him the staff likely, but obviously you can't start likely.
Yeah, likely's very solid in a bit. All right, thanks, Travis.
All right, appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye.
You, bro. Buka or Lad? What? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Keep in mind, likely is coming back from injury, so even if he doesn't do it in his first game, I mean, yeah. I mean, no one's expecting him to be. I mean, he's also could. I mean, his first. I mean, you never know. But I mean, certainly stashing him. Likely is a great stash, but it won't necessarily affect Flowers. You know, could affect him a little bit, but I'm baking all that in. Flowers is such a good buy low. Again, here are the buy lows, guys. Not necessarily buy lows even. The buy lows are all right here, which there's some overlap on the Wild Wild West outlaw board.
Wanted.
These are the most wanted.
Wanted. Top most wanted outlaws. Wanted. These outlaws are on the run. 'Cause they're wanted. Wanted. Dead or alive. Wanted.
But these guys aren't necessarily all the same. These are some cases like you're going to hold them, you're going to trade for them, you're going to, whatever. They're all, a lot of them are buy low still. Most of them are. But just wanted to talk upside wide receivers to help everybody navigate. And don't forget to watch the running back video for the running back portion of this. And the final super chat of the evening, and I thank all of you for the super chats. We got Drop, Jaden Blue, or Horton for Franklin. Give her, yeah, I mean, sure, for right now, monitor it, but make sure you're looking at the waiver board because the waiver board tells you exactly that, you know what I mean? So go check this out. A.M. Minor is my favorite wide receiver pickup. So if you're wondering, like, well, what about A.M. Minor versus Mooney? Well, it's right in front of your face, pal. Appreciate you, Alan, for the super chat. You the man, the myth, the legend, my boy. And Anthony with the final one, BTJ and Evans for Egbuka and Walker. Woo! This is pretty arguable on all sides. Like, there's a world where this doesn't work out, and in one direction, it's a world where both of them are dead even. I love Egbuka probably right now over all of them, but that could, BTJ could get his top 5-7 wide receiver value back, man. And Evans is potentially a top, 10 wide receiver this year. And so Walker can continue or fall off the face of the earth, and then you're wishing you had Evans and BTJ. I think Evans and BTJ are higher risk, higher reward now. Could end up flipping on that, and then the higher risk, higher reward. So let's go to the vote. Guys, Egbuka, Walker, or BTJ Evans, please vote in the chat. Buka, Walker, or BTJ Evans. Do it live. Who that Gator with the Slipping in a last super chat there at the last second. Smitty, I have Chase Brown, Mason, Hampton, Harvey, Tootin, CD, London, Buka. Who would you trade for BTJ? Hampton, JMO straight up, Hampton and JMO for BTJ and somebody. Keon and JMO, Keon and Hampton. Tootin if need be. Not trading Buka, not trading London, not trading CD. Mason, if you had another running back, which you don't, you kind of got to rely on Mason. You know, but I do want to trade Mason for BTJ. You just, what are you going to do? You know, do you trust Tootin? You could throw Tootin in there. All right, my boy, you got my answer there, but it is complicated for sure. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you.
My name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
What is that smell? Someone needs me.
Help! Help! I'm going to lose my fantasy week! Somebody help! Call the Scat Man!
I am Scatman. Who needs my help? Wow. Bang, bam, boom. To the moon. Now it's time to go pick up your mother.
Hey Chan. Hey Chan is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Hey Chan is the man.
Don't forget, play 5, get 50. That link is pinned in the live chat, underdog code Smitty. Also, don't forget that I have a Patreon. It's a 24/7 live chat group is essentially all it is. It's 24/7 live chatting. I'll be over there right now chatting with you guys live. Smash that link. I just dropped it in the live chat. It's in the description of every video, as is the link to Underdog, as is the link to my thefantasyfootballshow.com year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, you name it, your boys got it. It's year-round content. That link has just been dropped. All these links are in the description of every video. So get on over to the Patreon right now and we'll start chatting. Live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. That's this show you're watching right here. And live whenever big news breaks. Thanks, Sick Nasty. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Space Ricky. Thank you, Vampy. Thank you, DeBalt. Let's see, did I get everybody? Travis, Blackbeard, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, DeBalt. Who am I missing? Vamp. Who am I missing, damn it? Of the regular crew. Am I missing anybody? All right. See you all tomorrow. I should have a video in the very early morning like usual. See you all later. Appreciate you.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.